Well, hello again. This is Classical Builder. We're at it again. Last time, you might remember, we did a video for YouTube called Wee Lassie Canoe for Emerson. And that's how you could find it. Well, this one's going to be a fishing boat for Damon, who happens to be my son-in-law. But anyway, so that's the way that is. And right now, we're gluing up the bottom. And I'll show you a little closer up in just a second. Now I've got the thickened epoxy, thickened with silica, spread on the joint, and I got it real thick on this left side, and the right side, of course, doesn't have any on it, so that's the reason I put it so thick. And I've got plywood, 3/4 plywood underneath, and I'm gonna put a piece of 1/4 inch, or maybe that's 3/8 on top, with wax paper in between, and screw it down where it'll be good and tight. And of course, those little screw holes I'll be filling later because it'll be painted anyway. So there you go. So that's where we are right this minute. And it's real helpful if you got two drills. You can drill a hole in one and screw the screws in with the other, and it saves a lot of time. So that's the way I do it. We'll see how I've done this before and it worked great, but it's been a number of years, so we'll see how this works. And it looks a lot nicer than just a piece of wood slapped over a butt joint. So anyway, so and I'll sand and grind down the joint if it's not perfect, and I'll do a little fairing compound in there, and it'll be absolutely perfect when I get through. Okay, now here's the glued scarf joint, and it's pretty smooth, particularly on this end. The other end over there's got a little bit of a ridge, so I'm gonna do a little grinding, a little sanding. Then I'm gonna put some epoxy with some filler type material in it that's going to be like a paste, and it's going to fill up any low spots, which I'll check with a straight edge, and then it'll be like a jammed up rascal. It'll be smooth as a baby's hind. See you later. Well, here's the bottom on the inside of the bottom. It's been scarfed together, and it has fairing compound on it, and it's pretty doggone cold outside, so it's been a day and a half down. It's still not totally dry. I mean, it's dry or set up, but it's just a little gummy, so I can't really finish it off. So it's pretty tight, but it needs to get a little more before I can really get it smoothed out. So I'm gonna flip it over and do the other side, because it's gonna take a while for it. See you later. But anyway, it looks pretty doggone good to me, and I guarantee it won't come apart. So what we got now is just a sealing coat, after which I'm going to go ahead and put the fiberglass on the inside of the boat bottom, which that's what that is the inside that you're looking at. And we're going to put fiberglass 7.5 ounce cloth in there, and with a coat on it, and probably one more coat on top of that. So we'll have it good and sealed on the inside. And of course the bottom of the frames are also sealed already, so won't be too long before we put this booger together. Okay, boys and girls, now we have some, I narrowed down that's the bow we're looking at, and it's the floor of the bow. So it's a little narrower on this end. I didn't know exactly how to do it since it's not set on the frames yet, but anyway, I got it narrowed some where I wouldn't use quite as much fiberglass and whatnot. But anyway, there it is across the bottom, fiberglass all the way on the inside to start with. And I'll probably put one more rolled coat of epoxy on top of that. So that bottom will be sealed. And of course, I'll have 4 or 5 layers on the outside, so of epoxy, not glass. But anyway, that's where I am right now. And it's a job, but I think it'll be worth it. And hope y'all had a nice Thanksgiving. It's the day after Thanksgiving right here where I am, so there you go. And I'll see you later. Okay, here I am spreading the glue. The thickened epoxy, you see how it is. It's about like mayonnaise or thereabouts. And I'm going to spread it on here, about like so. Kind of thick. Don't care how thick. If I got to squeeze out, I guess that shows that it's not a starved joint at least. And I'm going to put that spatula, a putty knife, on it here in just a minute. And get it pretty smooth and even. And I'm going to flip it over. I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to do it now. I decided that I'd go ahead and put it on both sides. It's going to be a little messy because I got it thick, but that's the way the ball bounces. Plus, I've got wax paper on there. Alright. Now we're going to flip her over. Try to line it up. About something like that. I'll move it back and forth. I didn't ever put it, knife it, so I'm going to move it back and forth a little bit. Now I'm going to take this long straight edge over here. Make sure the edges are lined up. Turn on for the noise. There's some more of it. I'm good at that. As my grandson says, I'm good at that. That would be William. You're listening, William. That's you back when you were about 7 years old. I'm real proud of William. He's a good boy. He's on a religious mission right now, and he's doing great. Doing his job. Okay. Now I'm going to put wax paper over that and screw it down, and I'll show you how that looks in just a minute. Okay, we got it screwed down with a piece of 3/8 ply. I think there's plenty of screws in there. You might notice that I've got a spacer underneath here that's 3/4. Another spacer over here that's 3/4, so that joint will be nice and flat. And then I put this over it, and that'll make that joint really flat. You know, so they won't be out of line when they're together. So, and of course I use this straight edge down here to make sure the edges are aligned ahead of time. So, looks like to me everything is lovely. We'll wait and let her dry, and we'll see. We'll see you later. Okay, this is drawing it down a little closer now to the end. It's not there yet, but I've got 6 frames in place. They're not exact yet, but they're getting closer. You might notice at the very front of the boat, the bow, I don't know whether you can see it from this angle, but the chine dips down 3 inches. And of course that very top of the bow you see there will come off. I had to leave it up there for these strings. And the only reason I'm drawing these strings down there is to make sure that all the frames are at the same height to the stern and the bow. So anyway, that's the way that's working. Kind of tedious. Got to get exactly the right width and the height. And then I'll screw them in place. Then I'll put the bottom on and we'll see how all that goes. So there you go for the time being. Catch you later. Well, there's the bottom on there. I cut it with a skill saw. I put it up there like that, and I marked it on the underside against the chines. And then I cut it with a skill saw, or rotary saw, whatever you kind of saw it is, and cut the excess off. Now I'm just stumbling through here, trying to show you what I got. So underneath, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I don't know if I can show you underneath or not. But anyway, guess I can't. I got too much tripod here. But anyway, that's the way that is. And I've got, here's the front, or the bow. And of course, it's got a 15-degree slope to it like the stern does. And which means it'll be down like that. And it's a 3-inch drop from the level part of the bottom to the front end of the bow there. So, which is what I want. I didn't want to just plow through the water. I'd like to have it a little bit of upturn or a rocker in the bow. And that's the way that is today. And I'm worn out. Bye.